Okay. Now I am changing this name as Final Year BTech Python class. Now you can type your code and just simply press this button and you can work with this. Like that I am just entering. Okay, sorry. P small print 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 now hello. Huh? You type. So if you type this. Just if you press that button, automatically it gets compiled. Huh? So this much easy is this Google Colab. So no headache, no worry. Just you got the output. So that is the simplest way to use this Google Colab. This is a online tool. Up to machine learning programs you can do here in this Google Colab, and this whatever the work you have done, it will be saved in your particular Gmail IDs linked Gmail IDs linked drive, Google Drive. Gmail ID, which Gmail ID you linked that Google Drive, uh, uh, linked Google Drive, the work, whatever the work you are doing will be saved in the linked Google Drive. Linked Google Drive, you can do that. So this is the simplest. This is the simplest. This is the simplest tool and very excellent tool for compiling our Python programs. So Python programs. What is the best tool? Google Colab. How to access it? Just type colab.research.google.com. This website you have to go. And how to, if you cannot remember this website, very big one, just type Colab Google in the web browser or in the Google search engine. You will get this website directly, colab.google. Colab Google. If you type this search engine in the search engine, then automatically this website link will be given to you, and that is the beauty. That is the advantage that you have. Okay, is that clear? This is the thing that I want to convey to you. Okay. This is the thing I want to convey to you. So Google Colab. Google Colab is the best tool that we have. And yesterday we discussed about the 5 data types. Now let us further go, and I will introduce a small if construct, if condition, if construct in Python. How to handle an if statement in Python. So if statement will be like this: if condition, any condition, if you give a greater than b, then you have to use colon, then you have to hit enter, and it will go to next line by keeping some, giving up that space. That space is called indentation. Indentation. So how many spaces it will give up? 4 spaces. Hello, how are you? Okay. Hello, how are you? I'm just typing. If a is equal to yes, if a is equal to yes, just I'm typing a. Just before that, a is equal to yes, I'm typing. If a is equal to yes, then print hello, how are you? Yeah, you see, we got that output, hello, how are you? Because we already assigned A, S. So if condition in brackets, A equal to S, colon is very important. Next, I gave 4 spaces or 1 tab space. I gave up 1 tab space here. Before print, 4, how many spaces are left? 4 blank spaces or 1 tab space is left. This is very, very important in Python. In Python, there is no brackets or anything. There will not be any brackets or anything. Please remember, Python indentation is only the thing. Python indentation is only the thing. So no brackets are there. No brackets are there. So brackets will not be there. With indentation only, uh, mm, we can group the statements. So I am writing hello, how are you? Are you going to movie? Going to movie or anything? Did you had your breakfast? Print. Did you eat something? So itla like this manamu we can put many statements under a single block. So we can have one statement or many statement. This all come under one block. Okay, can you understand? This is what is happening. Okay, so so that is the colon is after colon we came to next line by giving 4 blank spaces. By giving up 4 blank spaces. By giving up 4 blank spaces, and then we start writing that print hello, how are you? Next line, I gave up 4 blank spaces. They come under one block. So here 3 print statements are under one block. So this is the simple if statement. But in Python, how the syntax of if you are able to see, if I brackets in the condition will be there, after that colon will be there, after that this will be there. And you have to understand in Python we are not ending with semicolon or anything, any line. There is no semicolon in Python. Please remember, there is no semicolon. No semicolon. Please mind it. All of you understand this. There is no semicolon in Python. Okay, please understand this. There is no semicolon in Python. Just we are writing like this. This is the if statement. So please understand. So let us do one more program. How to find biggest of 2 numbers. Taking input from the user and finding biggest of 2 numbers program. So please join kindly between 9:30 and 35. So there will not be any problem for us. Everybody can enjoy the class because just you join in between 9 to 9:30. So every time, okay, there is a
సార్
uh,
సార్ ఇది క్లాస్ కంటిన్యూ చేయండి, క్లాస్ కంటిన్యూ చేయండి మేడం. యాస్మిన్ మేడం కొద్దిగా హలో, యాస్మిన్ మేడం వాళ్ళ మమ్మీ ఇప్పుడే ఎక్స్పైర్ అయ్యారట పాపం, హార్ట్ అటాక్.
సారీ
అందుకు మేడం 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 ఫోన్ చేశారు నాకు ఇప్పుడే. కొద్దిగా కంటిన్యూ చేయండి క్లాస్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే సారీ సార్. Very sad news. Okay. Okay. Let us go with another problem. So finding biggest of 2 numbers in Python. Very simple problem. So let us take A is equal to input. So when you say A is equal to input, it will take one value from the user. B is equal to input. Now, oh Mahaprabhu. Okay. Now A is equal to input, B is equal to input. Now, whatever the input that is coming, we have to convert it into int. How to do that? Int in brackets. If you say A and assign it again to A, then it will be turning to integer, and B is equal to int B. So like that, you can change it to integer. Basically, whenever you take input, that will be in the form of strings. And in that first line only, you can apply int function over the input function. That is also your wish. But I am doing it in the second consequent lines. Why? Because I want to make you clear about this. Okay. So if A greater than B, A greater than B, then okay. Okay. So now A greater than B. Just if A greater than B, print biggest number is equal to A. Else print biggest number is B. So if A greater than B, biggest number is A, else biggest number is B. So this is the biggest of two numbers problem. Next, one more problem we have. Our friends are coming one by one, slowly, like ant community. Like one will come after another, one will come after another, like that. It is coming like that. So this is the okay. Now whoever may come, I cannot. Now it is like that. So biggest number is A, next biggest number is B. So it is a simple program. First we took A is equal to input. It is taking input from the user. B is equal to input. String A we are converting into integer in the third line. Now string B we are converting into integer in the fourth line. For clarity's sake, I wrote in a separate line, but we can make it in 2 lines by putting integer over this input itself. But for the clarity of the students, I wrote in 4 lines. So if A greater than B, print biggest number is A, else print B, biggest number is B. Now I entered 10. Now 20 for B. So which is bigger? B is bigger. So biggest number is 20 we got. So like that we got. But in the input, we are not getting any prompt. Here we can ask for some prompt. Enter a number. enter a number. So like that, enter a number. So it will ask now 10. I entered. Again, I entered 11. Okay, which is the 11 is the big one. Now let us check. First we will enter. So 45. Next I entered 4. So 45 is the biggest number. So that is the thing. Okay. Next 45 is the biggest number. So like that we got the biggest of two numbers. Biggest of two numbers. Okay. So biggest of two numbers program. It is very simple program to understand the Python psychology. So how the indentation will be, what is the method of inputting, how that converted into string, and all that one by one we are learning here. A is equal to input. Next B is equal to input. So it will take input, and if you want any prompt in the brackets, you can give enter a number. Otherwise, it will be a blank, like a blind person. We don't know what to do. So enter some string so that user get prompt. Next, a is equal to int a. Again, you are converting. Actually, whenever the user gives input at a number also, but it will be in the form of string. So string to integer you have to convert using int function. It will be converted into integer. A and B we are changing into integer. Next, if you are if condition, if a greater than b, next you are saying this is this, else this is this, like this. So like that it will be. Okay. Okay, like that it will be. It is the simple program to understand biggest of two numbers, and you will understand input statement, how you are translating typecasting into one type to another. Typecasting means changing one data type into another data type. That is known as typecasting. I am just writing what is typecasting here. Typecasting means casting means changing one type to another. That you are doing in the line number 3 and 4. Line number 3 and 4. You are doing that. Okay, that typecasting you are doing the line number 3 and 4. So that is the thing you are doing. Next, you are finding out the condition. Condition is true. The statement 6 will execute. Otherwise, else 7. Like that it is going on. This is the simplest Python program that is we did. Please understand. If you understand this simple program, then you can understand any program very easily without any problem or anything. Is that clear? Okay. Next, this is the if statement. Next. So next thing is okay. Next problem, let us take let us check the type of the variable. So we did already this is equal to hello. So now just print type type here. Just if you say this is a, you will give string. Okay, so like that you can find type of the variable. Next, you can find length of the variable. Okay, print len, sorry, length of a. So what is the length of a? How many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 characters you got. So like that you can find this is the very simple things in Python. Next, there are some we found out this if else. Next, let us take up some further. In Python there is another set of types in Python that is called sequences. Under the sequences, first type is list. List means it is a list means it is a like similar to an array. So it will be like this. It will be like having this brackets, and you can put heterogeneous elements in this list. Hello, and now an integer. Next, a floating point. Like that, different heterogeneous elements you can keep, and you can keep duplicate values also in this list. Same 10, 100 times you can keep. Duplicate values are allowed, heterogeneous elements are allowed, and like that, different things are allowed. So this is a, what is a sequence? This is called sequence. This is a ordered collection, and you can get the elements of a list using its index li of sorry, like this brackets you have to 0, sorry, 0. First element you will get like that, print li of 1. Next, print li of 2. Like that, you can have a list of things. Like that, you can print one by one using its index. Hello. Afterwards, we printed 10, 15.5. Using that index, you can extract elements of a list, and you can use with the Mahapurush now. So like this, you can have elements. You can have duplicate elements. You can have heterogeneous elements. You can access all this. This is a ordered collection. This is called ordered collection. So why we are saying ordered collection? You can extract the elements with index. Next, you can also have a list with homogeneous elements like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like that, homogeneous elements also you can keep, and you can print one by one using print statement. Print li of 0. Next, print li of 1. Okay, so like that, you can print the elements of a list, and you can have the duplicates also. You can also You can also keep duplicates here. Oh, sorry. Okay. So like this, you can duplicate. You can keep and you can keep duplicates and it will accept it. So 1020 I'm printing. This is a simple list program. Like that, lists will be there. List accessing will be there. So next, next, how okay. Next, how just a simple in C language you have experienced for loop. So how to access the elements of a list using for loop? Just we'll see with a simple program. So just in the Python, how the syntax will be. Let us see how the syntax will be. Okay. Now, so now, now let us see. For loop, for loop. So in how to write this comments in Python using hash. This hash. Let us learn. Let us learn for loop. For loop. What is for loop means what? Repeating a set of statements for n number of times. Okay, repeating a given set of statements for n number of times. For example, one statement you have to, instead of writing 10 times, just if you say statement 1 repeat 10 times, then it will repeat. Some mechanisms are there in the language like that. The for loop is also like that. For x in li, li is a list. Now I am entering print. Print x means it will print one element by one element, one by one, like this. Let us see here how simple and easy is Python. You see all the elements came one by one. So this within the 2 lines we are printing the array elements, all the array elements in Python. Very simple. For x in is the operator in Python. So in is a operator. So li is the list name. Li is the name of the list. Colon we applied. Next I said print x. Then it will print automatically one element by one element, one element by one element, one element by one element, like that. First element is 10, second element is 20, like that. Here the list we created. That list consequence is here. Okay, here you can copy this list here and put it here itself, because this forms a complete program. So 3 lines are required. So like this you can write. So this is the complete program, how to traverse through a list using for loop. This is the mechanism. For loop, how it will work. For is the loop which will repeat the given set of statements for n number of times. Okay. So like that it will be. So for loop is like this. So and list will be like this. So list is a very important data structure. So now let us have one more list. List of names. Li is equal to Ramu, Gopi. So like this strings you can also group and let us run for loop on that for x in li, sorry, colon print s. Next Ramu, Gopi, Mallesh, Ali, Lily, Rosie, Mamta, Sunita, Ramesh. We got one by one like this. So strings also you can put in a list and you can traverse the list like this. So for S in li, print S, if you say it will gradually print one by one, like that. Gradually it will print and it will display all the things. For S in list name, for S is the any variable name you can give, and in the name of the list. After that colon, after that print brackets. That variable whatever you have give, that variable name if you give, then it will print. This much easiest is the Python language. 3 lines you can take list of strings and just display them one by one within 3 lines only. That much easiest coding is in Python. That is the greatness of Python programming language, which is developed by Curio van Rossum. Is that clear? So Mahapurush came at the end of the class. Okay. Now it is like that. List will be the list function. Sorry, the list data type is a sequence in Python. It will be like this. It can accept heterogeneous elements. We can use it for putting homogeneous elements. We can traverse the list using for loop. For loop is a loop which will repeat the n number of same statement for n number of times. So for S in is the operator in Python. So like that. Next, very much important. Okay. So please make a note that in Python we have 33 around 33 keywords. Okay. Okay, that we will discuss tomorrow. So this is briefly what we discussed today. Today I discussed about the Google Colab. I introduced this Colab, colab.research.google.com. If you don't remember this hell of website name, just remember Colab. That if you type in the browser, you will get this website. And we discussed just if statement, and next and input and output, biggest of numbers, and next I discussed about list, and next I discussed about for loop and all. So this is the brief discussion we did today. If you have got any doubts, please ask me. If you got any doubts, you can unmute yourself and ask me. Is it clear to all, my dear students? Is it clear to all? Please respond immediately. Is it clear? Any doubts are there? Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
సార్ కంటిన్యూ చేయండి సార్.
Okay. Next hour also.
అదే చెప్పాక మీ యాస్మిన్ మేడం లేదండి ఇప్పుడు.
Okay, okay.
అందుకోసం కంటిన్యూ చేయండి మేడం.
Okay.
నెక్స్ట్ అవర్ మేడం కంటిన్యూ చేయండి. ఆ సీక్వెన్సెస్ క్లోజ్ చేయండి, ఈరోజు అయిపోద్ది.
Okay.
సరే.
Okay. So this is the list we have. List is this is the data type. Okay. Now let us continue for loop we did. Next, how to add an element to a list. Let us see how to add an element to a list. So li dot add Ramya sorry add. So how to add Ramya to list? Just use append function, append append. Append function works with the list. Add function will work with some other data type, that is I will discuss later. So append, you have to use append. Append means adding at the end. So append means adding at the end. Ramya I have added at the end. So like that Ramya is added. Next you will get the list of values like this. So okay, so next this is append. Now I want to insert in the middle or in the for particular place. You can do it using insert command. Place, which place I want to insert? Second place. Which element? Jyoti. So let us see. Now I print this li. So Jyoti got inserted in the second place. Like the proper place I want to insert, that is possible with the insert function. Insert function is the second function with the lists. Okay, with lists, insert is the second function. That is the possible thing in Python programming language. Insert is the second function. Next. Okay, this is the insert function that is there. Next, so you can insert at any location as per your desire. That is the second method of inserting. Now append function is there, insert function. I want to insert at a proper location. Next I want to remove the elements using remove. It will remove the first occurrence of the particular element. It means remove Jyoti. Here you see print. In our class, 2 Jyotis are there. Jyoti. So I am removing one. So remove Jyoti means Jyoti will be removed, and let us see it what will happen now. So 2 Jyotis are there. One Jyoti will be removed, one will be there. So next, you see only one Jyoti is there. One Jyoti is removed. So that is this first occurrence of the particular element will be removed. Not all. Only first occurrence will be removed. Remaining will be there. Okay, nobody. Next, like that, remove method. So first we learn append, next insert, next remove, and next let us see pop. Pop is also used for removing. It will remove the last element. Last is Ramya is there, so it will remove. Ramya is removed. You see. Now next print li. Now can you see Ramya? Ramya is removed. It is not there in the list. That is the pop element. Pop function. Pop function is there. Next, pop function will be like that. Pop. It will remove the last element. Remove pop. Next, delete function. How to delete a particular element using delete function is also possible. I want to delete first element, 0th element. So and next print li. So this is also possible using delete function. Like this, deleted first element. Ramu is removed. So like that you can remove using delete method also. Delete. So that is also allowed in Python. So like that, there are 3 mechanisms to remove. First remove function, next pop function, next delete. For inserting, append and insert. So if I want to find the length of the string, length of the list, how to do that using length function. Using length function. Okay, like this you can find length of the list. Okay. So this is the basic functions which will work on the this is the basic functions which are working on the list. Okay, these are the basic functions that are working on the list. Okay, is there any doubt? You can ask me, unmute and ask. Is there any doubt? Everything is clear. Let us proceed. Shall I proceed? Is everything is clear? Is everything is clear? Okay. So this is what it is called. These are the basic functions that are associated with a list. Okay. Next. Append, insert, remove, pop. Okay. Delete, link. Now let us take another data type that is called tuple. Tuple, tuple. So tuple, how to create tuple? Tuple you can create using this bracket. In this also you can put heterogeneous elements. Next, you can create with different elements in a tuple. Tuple, what is the importance of tuple is you cannot modify the elements inside a tuple. You cannot extend the tuple. You cannot remove the elements inside a tuple. That is the only problem. I means that is like a constant structure. It is a constant structure. You cannot modify tuple. It is like a constant structure. It is a technically it is called immutable. Immutable means we cannot modify. But if you take list which is mutable, which we can modify, but tuple we cannot modify. Tuple is the data type which we cannot modify. List we can modify. List we can modify as per our wish. But tuple we cannot modify. Tuple brackets, by brackets you can find out tuple. So for example, you can create a list with a list function also. Let us take x is equal to, for example, let us take some values. X is for example, this tuple is there. Tuple we created, so we can modify the tuple using a list function. List L is equal to list. In the brackets you can give TP tuple. So this using the tuple values you can create a list and you can print it. So check. So this list function you can create list, but input should be some sequence. So tuple I have given. With that you are creating another list. This you can modify and make changes and do whatever the hell you want. So this is what tuple. Tuple, please remember, and you can create a tuple with the tuple function also. So I am creating t is equal to, now the list is created now, tuple 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 L. Sorry, what is that? L. So now if you run this, tuple is created, and now if you try to print the tuple, into the tuple t. Now tuple t is printed. So it is coming one by one. So like that it is coming. Tuple is coming one by one. So that you can see very simply, and try to modify the tuple. Let us see tuple we created. Let us see what will happen if you try to modify it. T of 0 is equal to some assignment here. So now if you try to modify it, what is it given? A tuple object does not support item assignment. You see error. Error use. So like that. Now tuple user that item assignment if you want to trying to modify that item, that is not possible in tuple. Huh? Can you see that? That item assignment. If you assign that something, that is not accepting. Why? Because it is a constant one. So where you can use this tuple means if you have your hall ticket number and name that you don't want to modify, that you don't want to change it, just you write your hall ticket number comma your name in one tuple, then that cannot be modified. So that is a safe one, means that cannot be modified. So that is the, in that situation you can use the tuple. And next you can tuple is the ordered collection. Tuple is also heterogeneous, but only the change is it is a constant, like a constant one. We cannot modify. That is the sequence tuple. That is the nature of the tuple. Tuple you can create with the tuple function, and generally with this parenthesis brackets. So by the brackets you have around this, you can identify whether it is a tuple or list. Okay. So this is what a tuple it is. So you can find the length of the this particular tuple using length function. So tuple t is there. So print four. You got 4. So that is the length. So like that you can get the tuple. So it will come like that. It will come like that. So so you can find the length of the tuple like that. You can traverse the tuple using for loop. There is no problem, and you can only just one trouble is that you cannot modify anything. You cannot add elements. You cannot remove. You cannot change. That is the only problem with the tuple. Means it is a constant list. Next data type is set. Set is another sequence. Let us have that. Set with comes with curly braces. As you know, mathematics set how that will be. That is the like that it will be. So it will not accept the this indexing. It is an unordered collection. Please make a note. It is an unordered collection. It is an unordered collection. It is an unordered collection. How to add elements into a set using add function st.add. It will not append will not work here. Add. Now print st. Now you see this number is added. Now you can see this number is added. Like this. Some number. Okay. Now I want to introduce you. Okay. Okay, this is the set add function. And this, there is no order for this set. There is no order, any order, anything like in the interval how the children are there, that will be like that set. So their first will be going this way, that way, that way, this way, like that. Unordered collection of elements is set. In the set you can have heterogeneous elements that duplicates are not allowed. Duplicates are duplicates are not allowed, are not allowed inside the set. Duplicates are not allowed in set. So set cannot have duplicates. Duplicates, if you keep automatically, it will remove. For example, I am creating a set. So 10 comma 10 comma 10 comma 20 I kept. Now I will print the set. You see what will come. Print. Yes. What will come? Okay, this we have to put some hash. Now you see what we got, 10 comma 20. So 3 times I kept 10, but I got only 1 I got. How this is possible? This is possible because of the duplicates are not allowed inside the set. Duplicates values are not allowed. So let us see another set. Set S is equal to Ramya, comma Jyoti I kept. Jyoti. Again I kept Ramya. Okay. Now I am trying to print it. Print S. Now I try to print. How you got Ramya and Jyoti? So this kind of set we can create how that elements are coming. You can see. So you cannot extract the elements one by one. Only set, mostly set we use whenever we want to avoid duplicates in a particular collection. Whenever you want to avoid duplicate values in a particular collection, mostly you use the set. Okay, that is the very important thing. You should understand how the order will come, how what will happen, we don't know. So it is, so you can create a set with set function also. If you create a set function also, you can create using set function. So for example, k is equal to set. You say this will create a empty set. So this will create an empty set. Now so this like this you can create a set. That is also possible. Set function you can create a set, that is allowed, that is possible. That is the advantage of set. And you can apply all the different applications like union, intersection, and the difference on sets. So let us see the set operations today. So how to, if two sets are there, S is equal to 10 comma 20. To set S1 is there. Set 1 S1. Now S2. Set 2 is there. This is 30 comma 40. Now these two sets are there. Now I want to apply union. Okay. Now print how to apply union x1. Just a simple this R operator x2. Now you will get union. Now 40, 10, 20, 30. 40 after you got 10, after you got 20, 30. There is no order in the set. See, as I said, this union operator you can apply. Otherwise, you can also apply by writing like this union. Both are acceptable as per your wish. If you have a lot of patience, you can write this entire union and put brackets and all that. Otherwise, if you want shortcut operator, that is this operator, simple operator, you can use. But if you want to readability, like if you want to code readable, that union function you can write, and whenever somebody finds shortcut, nobody goes to long cut. That's why this one single line, if you put, then the work gets done. So that is the okay. Next, how to find the common elements, that is intersection. So how to find the intersection of the two strings using AND operator. If you apply AND operator, okay, so you will get common element. What is the common element? 10. 10 is the common element between set 1 and set 2. So you can also use common element using that intersection function, that is bigger one, that is your patience and your good, but same work will be done. So there no difference. S1 intersection S2 in interview anywhere somebody will ask you, some Tataya will ask you, then there is a problem. So that's why you have to tell what is happened. Intersection also working same intersection. Next, difference between set A and set B, A minus B. You have learned in childhood, no? Now S1 minus S2, you can perform difference using this difference operator minus operator. Print S1 minus S2. S1 minus S2. So this is the difference operator. So difference you can find out, and this all this you can find out difference, and like that you can find out okay, difference between two sets S1 minus S2. Okay, that is all acceptable. She is coming, going out and coming in. So okay, like that set operations you can do. So difference, intersection, union, and one more, semantic difference. Semantic difference means union of A minus B union B minus A. That is a symmetric difference. So let us see symmetric difference. Print this one. This gap, if you put cap, if you put, then that gives you symmetric difference. So symmetric difference means the things which are only in S1. What are the things not in S2? 20. And the things which are in only in S2 but not in S1 means 30, 40. 30, 40, 20. Because n is the common element. So eliminating the common elements, joining all the elements of a set, that is known as symmetric difference. Eliminating the common elements, that is the only symmetric difference that comes with S1, this cap operator. So you can also write using very big symmetric S1. If I can type symmetric difference. Okay, we got the same. I'm by the grace of God, by the blessings of God, I am able to type it correctly. That is the biggest function. That is symmetric difference. It will be like this. Next, I am typing this union also here. Please write it completely in the S1 union S1 dot union. You have to, because in exams they will ask you. You have to remember all this. Because we don't know what is asked by the university. University may do anything. So intersection, now this also difference also I write to print. This one dot okay. Okay, we got it. Now semantic difference, union, intersection, difference, semantic difference. We got what is the left set operation? So union we got, intersection we got, difference we got, semantic difference we got. Anything is left? Can you type in the chat box? So it is clear, my dear students. Set operations. Is that clear, my dear students? Can you respond through chat? Hello? Okay. So this is the set operations. Please write, make a note of this program. So this is what set operations that we are going to do. Next, list is over, set is over, tuple is over. Tuple means you understood, list, set. Next comes the associative array are called a dictionary. Dictionary is called a dictionary. Dictionary in Python. So dictionary will be like this, key value pairs. Key value pairs. So actually everybody have name and mobile number. So for example, Ramo, his mobile number is 998 something. Next, Gopal. Here his mobile number is something ABCD. Some any number. Next, Yadav. So it's a mobile number. Sorry, his mobile number. Something. So this like this. If I want to get the mobile number of Ramo, so I will do Dick. I will say in the brackets Ramo. I run this. I got the mobile number. You see, and 999242344 something. Don't think about number of digits and the hell of the. Just we typed some number. So this is the thing that we can do it. So this is what dictionary. Dictionary contains key value pairs. So this is first one is called key. Second one is value. So with the index of the key, you can extract the value. So here keys must be keys must be strings, keys can be integers, keys can be some integers or any strings, integers, characters, like that keys can be, but keys must be unique, but values can be duplicated. So I will write one more dictionary. And you can have values as a list also or anything. So for example, I'll write mm, 1 colon. So I can put some list 10, 20, 30. And the second one, we can have the combination of types, Gopi. Here, second thing I am using as a string. Now, here I put some list 20, 30, 40. So, list key values can be anything. So, keys must be either strings or numbers or some rigid type, but duplicate keys are not allowed. Duplicate keys, because you can see duplicate keys, what problem will arise. Duplicate keys are always problematic, as in general life also. So now dictionary dictionary 1, if I type, I'm getting this related list. This is the complete list is my value. Next, and I am typing dictionary Gopi. So I got this 20, 30, 40. So like that we can get 20, 30, 40. Please make a note of this. This is what a dictionary is. Key value pairs, key value pairs, key value pairs. This is the next kind of sequence in Python. And next you can create a dictionary using dict function. Okay. So how we can create a dictionary using dict function? X is equal to dict. So like that, this is an empty dictionary. And next print X. Now it will be creating empty dictionary like this. And also you can create empty dictionary using this also. So next, and you can convert anything into dictionary using. So I created a list L, something. So now X is equal to BACD dict L. Now it will be converted into dictionary. So set can be converted into dictionary, sorry. So this is what empty dictionary, you can do it like this. Just some errors are coming. Okay. So this empty dictionary you can create with a dict command, a dict function. So like this, but we cannot put in this the list set. That is not acceptable because we are creeping into errors. So dictionary is a particular data type which will associate contains key and value pairs. Is that clear? So we got errors with assigning some other types and other things because not acceptable. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. So this is the thing. So dear students, you got any doubts, you can ask. We can end up the class. Any doubts are there, please unmute yourself and ask. If everything is clear, I will stop it here. If everything is clear, I will stop it here. Okay.